There's no doubt Mayor Wade Kapszukiewicz loves sports, and in tonight's installment of No Days Off, the Toledo native sits down with Mark Coons to talk about that fandom and what sports means to the Glass City.
Last month, your alma mater, St. Francis, won the state hockey title, and a few weeks after that, you had the pleasure of speaking at a celebration where, and this is where I want to start with, Marcy Kaptur, Congresswoman, she compared being a politician to skating on ice because it's all about balance. So let me ask you this. How much do you have to balance your own personal fandom with what the rest of the public might want you to root for? Because, I mean, obviously being in Toledo, the hotbed of all the great rivalries, whether it be Ohio State, Michigan, or Detroit against the Cleveland teams, do you have to balance that, or are you willing to stick to your guns and say, this is the team I'm a fan of, and let people respect the fact that you are a Cleveland baseball fan?
That's a good question. Getting back to what Marcy said, I thought the analogy was going to be that in politics and hockey you get bloodied and you get punched and you should get sent to the penalty box for 5 minutes for gross misconduct. No, that's a good question. This is a wonderful part of the state and the country for some of the great rivalries, Ohio State, Michigan being top among them. I'm pretty open that I'm an Ohio State fan, although I can also say with equal accuracy that I got a master's degree from the University of Michigan. So I guess it really just proves what a politician I am. Depending on what room I'm working, I can either say, University of Michigan, class of '96, or I can speak with great passion about Ohio State and how I want them to beat Michigan every time they play. So. I have found that I think as much as we enjoy sports, and no one more than I think at some level people understand that it is for fun. And I don't know that anyone has ever lost a vote by rooting for the wrong team. I think what would be worse would be to be phony. What would be worse would be to be an Ohio State fan, but then root for Michigan because you think that that's what people want you to do. I think people want you to be honest and genuine. And so while I respect Michigan, I am an honest and genuine Ohio State fan. And I don't know if that plays well here or not, but I think it probably plays better than it doesn't. But on some of the other sports you mentioned, I root for the Indians and the Lions, Detroit Lions, which is probably backwards, I think, of what most fans, I think probably most Toledoans are Browns and Tigers fans. Yeah. That fandom isn't nearly as sort of consequential or controversial as Ohio State, Michigan, where there are real passions and both teams are historically good. When it comes to the Lions and Browns and Tigers and Indians, over the years they have just traded off heartbreaking sadness versus failure.
Now, you have always been true to Toledo. We are sitting here in Fifth Third Field, and 19 years ago specifically, Fifth Third Field was built. We certainly remember what this area of town was like 20, 30 years ago. Now, I know there's a great debate in public policy over whether a sports arena can truly revitalize a downtown area, but you can point to Toledo and see what the Mud Hens have done, see what bringing the walleye from across the river have done to a major part of revitalizing downtown Toledo. And certainly there's still work to be done, and certainly there are many partners who have helped with this revitalization. But I guess my question is, as we sit here in 2021, how much has last year hurt the process of revitalizing downtown and without having the Mud Hens and the walleye being able to play?
It certainly, I mean, don't get me wrong, not having the Mud Hens and walleye certainly didn't help. And in fact, I can put a dollar amount to what the loss of just those 2 seasons cost our local economy. Just the cancellation of the Mud Hens season, which I think was 72 home games, and the walleye season, which is maybe 40 home games. We put pencil to paper on that one. Just those 2 events cost the local economy $54 million. So there's no question it was a gut punch to the local economy, but also just to the emotional well-being of our community, because we are so loyal to our teams here in Toledo. It's really a part of our DNA. It's who we are, and so to have them kind of taken away for a year hurt. But we did get through it, and that's not politicians speak or cliche, we got through the pandemic, better than most cities, for sure.